Now, after yesterday's manhandling of Mamata Banerjee and State Finance Minister Amit Mitra, she cancelled her meeting with the Prime Minister and Finance Minister P. Chidambaram and decided to return to Kolkata, where TMC groups are all protesting against the manhandling yesterday. So that's the second debate coming up on the social network. Painful, paribartan, Didi around 2 years on, drastic or democratic. Let's quickly listen in to what Shehzad has sent us.
I think Mamata keeps getting shriller and shriller and continues to assume that she is a street fighter, not a chief minister. In fact, she sees a conspiracy where none exists. And her latest statement about calling Sudipto Gupta's death a petty incident, well, I just feel that when it comes to quelling and silencing dissent, she takes a page from the book of her worst rivals, namely Mao.
All right, joining us for more on that particular story, we've got with us Subin Dennis, who's an SFI activist, and we're still joined by Amit Mitra, who's managing editor of Pioneer, and also from Kolkata, we're joined by Madhurima Bakshi, who is joining us from Kolkata on a video call. Thank you, Madhurima, for joining us. She is a member of ISA, All India Students Association. We're also trying to get in touch with Vinay, who is a member of the TMC's Chhatra Parishad. Hopefully, we'll try and get him as soon as possible on that show. Madhurima, if I could just start with you, what's happening in Kolkata? We know that there are lots of protests going on from both sides of SFI activists as well as... All right, we seem to have lost her line, so I'm just going to start off with Subin then. Subin, yesterday, the incident that happened in Delhi, you know, whatever your problems may be with, whatever your opposition may be with Mamata Banerjee's politics and the way her paribartan is now playing out in Bengal, but yesterday's incident was certainly condemnable, don't you think?
It was unfortunate, definitely. It was a joint protest by many mass organizations. It was a genuine expression of anger. It has been more than 1 week since Sudipto Gupta, a West Bengal State Committee member of SFI, was murdered by the state apparatus.
Yeah.
And there has been no inquiry at all. SFI and other democratic progressive organizations have been demanding that there should be a judicial inquiry, there should be an independent inquiry, there should be justice done in this case. But absolutely, the responses from the state government have been appalling.
Yeah.
In fact, Mamata Banerjee in fact said that it is a small and petty incident. So this protest of ours
but okay, where you know there is much criticism of Mamata Banerjee and you know, she's been around now for 2 years, and the kind of paribartan that she had promised when she came in, we're certainly not seeing that on the ground, Kushan, is it?
No, we're not seeing anything on the ground, frankly, in West Bengal. Industrialists are not investing there. It's not as if there is no hope in the state. I mean, there's obviously a lot of excitement. Bengal still produces some of the best and brightest people in our country. But it's somehow been sucked into another cycle of political violence. And it's incredible, actually. We thought that was over.
Yeah.
But it's apparently getting worse.
Worse. Madhurima, if I can just bring you in at this stage, if you can hear me now. Kushant's just talking about the fact that the cycle of violence seems to have gotten worse. In fact, an RTI application that was filed revealed that within the first 5 months of Mamata Banerjee's tenure, West Bengal had witnessed 642 political clashes in which 128 students were injured. So clearly, Sudipto Gupta's, you know, the injuries to Sudipto Gupta clearly not unique in that sense. Of course, the fact that he died is certainly very, very unfortunate. Madhurima, what's happening there in Kolkata?
See, I want to say that this is very clear for us that nowadays the democratic space in Bengal is being carved day by day, and there is no such space for dissent for the students and as well as the youth. And as we witnessed yesterday and before a couple of days, what happened, whatever happened yesterday, the fact is, one, a student got killed. The student got killed brutally in Kolkata, and very obviously will express their anger, and that was not unnatural. And last day what we saw in Bengal was there was a brutal police repression on the protesting students who were simply protesting against the corporate practice Narendra Modi who visited Kolkata. And continuously we are seeing again and again this TMC government of Mamata Banerjee is simply carving the space of carving the democratic space in Bengal. They are not even, they have no tolerance that they are not even ready to hear a single point of dissent from the students or even the youth. So that is the fact.
Kushant, she's
And
talking
even
about...
in Presidency University, the NCP hoodlums attacked in the university campuses, and they attacked and beaten the university students also.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, it would have been great to have Vinay back, Vinay also in the discussion, sort of responding to all of that. But I think the larger point that Madhurima is trying to make, and we've seen so many incidents that of that in the last 2 years now, Kushant, the fact that there is really no voice to protest. So what she's doing, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, there's absolutely no way to express dissent. Does that then make the social media's role that much more significant in a place like Bengal?
It does and it doesn't also, because I mean, let's be honest, social media is restricted to a certain part of our society. I mean, there are obviously students, and Shurita was on Facebook, and a lot of the pictures of his that have been carried in the newspapers and even on TV channels took from his Facebook profile. Social networks have been effective at organizing protests in West Bengal and elsewhere. But even when farmers protest in West Bengal, even those, for whatever reason, I mean, they may not be getting water, fertilizer, I mean, they don't need to protest for political reasons.
But basically just be able to express that something they're not liking, and they want to be able to just express that. Is that not part of, not a democratic way?
You've seen how the Chief Minister of West Bengal reacts to certain criticism. She will immediately dub people agents of, either communists or Naxals or whatever it is.